We're very lucky today to have the great country music star Mitchell Tenpenny. I booked you almost 2 years ago, and I was looking forward to the show so much, and we got canceled because of COVID, obviously. So here we are 2 years later, and we're just a couple weeks away from having you here at Mulcahy's, and we couldn't be more excited.
September 23rd.
September 23rd.
Is already sold out, has to be prefaced with that.
Yeah.
So we're not trying to push it at this point.
That's awesome.
We're super excited.
Yeah. No tickets available, everyone. Sorry about that. You should have got them earlier.
And just to let everyone know, Mitchell, I don't know if you know this, but from the original April 2020 show, that one was almost sold out. And I haven't got the exact statistics, but I want to say like 90% of people held on to those tickets. So this time around, when we got to announce the new date, there was only, I want to say, sub 200 left. Yeah. So they went in a flash, and we can't wait.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, 1,500 strong, 1,500 strong New Yorkers coming at you September 23rd.
And we were trying to figure this out, Mitchell. Have you played in New York before, like headline show?
Yeah. We've done, New York City a few times, and a couple places in New York proper. It's one of our favorite places. You wouldn't think that it's, when we started, that it's got a big country base, but it does. And it's like, we love coming in. Anytime we can come to New York, it's always a great show. The fans are incredible. So we're very excited.
Yeah, we're passionate. Yeah, a lot of country stars have said that. They're surprised how big it is out here in New York. So we're pumped.
Yeah. Have you been to Long Island before?
Yes. I'm not sure if we've ever played there, but I've been to Long Island. Awesome. It's awesome.
We'll take that title.
Yeah.
First Long Island show.
So
can't wait.
After, like almost a year and a half off, how good does it feel to be back on tour?
I mean, it's everything, man. Praying it all stays, but it's awesome. I mean, every weekend we're gone now. We're out on the road, and it's just been a blast, honestly. The fans are having a great time. The camaraderie is great, and so I'm just excited to be able to do our tour now, to get out there and do our stuff, do our headlining shows. It's me and all our guys on our crew. We can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Some of the musicians were saying, I have no musical talent, so I don't know, but like being in front of a crowd is like a drug, and you guys missed out on that for so long. So everyone's saying just how emotionally great it is to be back.
Man. You might just at the door. I don't know. It's something about the door, man.
You're good.
Every time it opens or shuts. Can you hear it now? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it is like a drug, man. It truly is. I don't know. As cliche as that is, that's what it's all about, man. It's kind of like this thing you kind of crave and feed. You feed off the crowd. All cliche aside, I mean, it's like you see their faces, they get wild, and you just have a great time too. So we're just really looking forward to it.
When was your first show back?
Our first show back, I mean, we've been playing for a while. We did a few acoustic things, like kind of towards the end of quarantine, whenever that was. I'm not even sure what time the end of it was, but last year. And then we started off pretty soon, about halfway through this year. I've been going pretty hard. Cool.
So we want to go way back because, I know you talk a lot about your music and stuff on like radio shows, but we want to get to know you as like the guy. And, we're not going to take up too much of your time, but, we just want to hear all about how
it's all good, man.
How you started. So who got you into music? Were you self-taught? Did you take lessons? And who were some of your musical influences growing up?
Yeah, I loved Michael Jackson growing up. He, just the melodies, and I love Michael Jackson. And then I got really into John Mayer. John Mayer is probably one of my biggest influences as far as what I do now. But country music, Brooks and Dunn, they were my favorite growing up. And the Eagles, always just the harmony. So I had a lot of different influences. And then I started bands. I was a hardcore screaming band, and we did the whole Warped Tour emo scene.
Nice.
So I love all kinds of music, and I try to put all those things together in what we do now. I've never been taught, I just kind of picked up a guitar and tried to start playing things and piano and just kind of listening around and just trying to imitate what I heard. I tried to take one lesson and I just didn't get it. It didn't make sense for me, but You know, and that's probably why I'm not the best in the world. But
Hey, you've done pretty well for yourself.
I
So
don't know.
far.
There's something about it. I like to just sit down and let myself learn. Yeah. Well, you know what? It's just crazy, man. It's awesome that people have resonated with some of these songs, and very, very blessed to have that. And we definitely know that we're very lucky to do what we do. So we just want to take full advantage of it.
Cool. Have you ever met John Mayer?
I met John Mayer once, yes. And he was very nice, but it was very brief. So I would love to like actually get to hang out and pick his brain.
Yeah, nice. I've seen him a couple times. He's unbelievable. He plays MSG here like almost every year, so
Yeah.
that's nice. So, do you remember your first
Yeah,
show?
he's amazing.
Oh. So, do you remember your very first show ever?
I mean, I guess it was at church, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my uncle, we played some Christmas songs when I was really little. But my first show with a band was a place called the Muse in Nashville. It was, I mean, probably no bigger than the room we're both sitting in right now. I mean, it was just tiny. I mean, and it was awful. The sound was horrible. It was just a lot of you know, amps that were way too loud. You couldn't hear any of the vocals, but it was rock and roll, and we were kids, and we thought it was awesome. And you know, it inspired us to want to continue to do that. And it's crazy to see where it's gone from there. But yeah, I think it was a place called the Muse. It no longer exists. I think it's a Domino's now in Nashville.
Well, you could go there after some of your shows, you know, if you get late night hungry, maybe.
There you go. Perfect.
Mitchell, what came first for you? Because obviously we know that you're a songwriter as well as just a singer. Was it kind of the love of singing that came first, or was it songwriting and then you learned to sing your songs?
Yeah, it's a great question. It was songwriting for me, and just, you know, in Nashville we do a lot of things called songwriter rounds, and I was just always playing songwriter rounds, and so I was always having to sing my own songs. And then people would come up after the shows and be like, "You need to sing that song. Don't pitch it to any other artist." And you know, I started getting in my head, and then I started kind of doing the artist thing because I never wanted to be just me solo. I always loved being in bands, but I love songwriting more than anything. And the solo thing just kind of happened, just organically and naturally, and I just kind of been rolling with it.
Nice.
That's awesome.
I'm glad you decided that. You know, it's worked out.
Sure.
And the writing process, I'm always amazed. Like, do songs like come to you? Like, is it all at once, or you just get like a line by line, or does like the music come first, or is it always different?
I mean, it's always different. I like to start with a hook, some kind of, you know, catchphrase or some kind of idea, and then I go with a melody first, like instrumentation and melody, and then I start writing the song lyrically after that. That's normally the process. Doesn't always happen like that. Sometimes I might write down like a full, you know, stanza or a paragraph or a verse and try to tweak that in later without music. But normally I start with music and an idea first, just kind of go from there.
Alrighty.
That's awesome. So, and we know that you grew up in Nashville as well. And when we were researching, you quickly kind of learn about your grandma being a pretty huge character, legend. Donna Hilly, right? She was the CEO of Sony and ATG Music. That's awesome. So, was she a big influence for you? Was that kind of like, were you the prodigy that was the kind of path already ready for you, or were there other things that you were interested in along the way?
Yeah, no, I mean, so she was, you know, president of Sony ATV Publishing, which is the songwriting side. So, you know, I fell in love with songwriting because of her, but I always thought I was going to play football. Played football through high school, you know, went to college, and at that point, that's when she was sick and kind of out of it. So it was never me being, you know, a music prodigy or the one to come up next in line behind her. I just I fell in love really with music just because I love these cool bands and stuff in high school, and me and my buddies started a band. And she never, you know, she helped me buy a little bit of equipment, like some Pro Tools stuff to record my own stuff, and she told me, you know, you need to learn to play all your own instruments and stuff, because then you'll be more valuable to a publishing company, because then you can do your own demos and you won't have to charge them to do your demos. So she gave me a little foresight into where the business was going, but unfortunately she got sick before I ever really got to, you know, ask her a lot of the questions that I would love to ask her now. So
Wow.
I was very blessed to have that foresight, but I wish I was here to, help. I mean, I wish she was here to help me with a lot of these new
Question.
questions you give. But with that said, no, I think I just fell in love with music as I got older and realized how important music is to me, how it changed my life. You hear a song that you get, you dive into, and it feels like it's your story. As I got older, I wanted to write stories for people too. And my brother, he plays bass in my band. And so it was just always kind of a family thing that me and him were really the only ones that ended up going that route. And none of them were in the artist route or the musician route. They were all on the business side. My mom still, she works in publishing as well. So
Wow.
we got to see the business side, which is great.
Yeah.
It's good to know that side in this industry, but we were really the only ones that played anything. So it was kind of like charting our own territory,
Yeah,
but
for
with a
sure.
good sense of knowing how to protect ourselves on the business side, if that makes sense.
Is your brother still on the road with you now?
Yeah, he
That's
is.
awesome.
I think he's up on the bus playing video games.
That's amazing.
Oh, good. So we'll have two Tenpennies here. On the
Yeah.
23rd. Well, you
Yeah,
you said, and
Look a lot alike. He's 3 years younger.
oh yeah. Does he ever try to be you? Does he ever go out there and try to emulate you?
He doesn't try to emulate me, no, but
Yeah.
a lot of people think we're the same person when
Really?
we're not together.
That's great.
For sure.
Well, you mentioned church before, so I'm guessing you're religious. I'm sure your grandma's very proud of you. I'm sure she knows what a big celeb you've become and how successful you are now. So I'm sure she's very, very proud.
Thank you, man.
I have a question too. With writing hits and everything, you've written so many already. Like, do you have a favorite, or they're like your kids? You love them all.
I mean, I do love them all, but I love the ones that help us a little bit more
Yeah.
around the house, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Drum Me obviously changed our lives. So I love that song to death.
Yeah.
But even our new single right now, Truth About You, what it's already doing for us, kind of revamp.
Video out yesterday.
Our
Congrats.
Yeah, the video out yesterday. Yes, video out yesterday, and just it's such a wave, this industry, and I don't think I have one truly favorite song, but I have a favorite song at the time, if that makes sense. Given whatever time it is, songs can be more valuable and important to me, but I love them all. They are my babies.
Talking of the Truth About You video, it's another awesome video, and you're starting to get a bit of a track record for that.
Thank you.
Obviously, Bitches springs to mind, legendary music video. If you haven't seen it, you got to check it out. How involved are you with your own music videos? Does the idea come from you? Have you got a team on it? I'm noticing a bit of maybe a Michael Jackson link. If that's one of your inspirations, you go all out.
Sometimes I have an idea. I just said idea. That shows you how redneck I am. I meant idea.
It's all right.
Sometimes I do, and I'll give a little insight at first, but then I let the director do what they do best, and that's come up with ideas of what they can visually see in their mind, how they can connect the dots, and usually I let them play out. Then I look at the treatment, we go back and forth for a minute, and then we just, I kind of go in blindly. I don't really prepare for them because I'm not an actor. I'm not good. I go in there and I just say, tell me what to do, and I'm gonna do it my best. And yeah, because otherwise I'll overthink it, and it's just not what I do. I'm not a music video director, and I'm not an actor. So if you point me in the direction, I'm a good listener. I love to learn. I'll do my best, but I usually let them do what they do best first, and then I just kind of follow.
Nice.
You seem like a natural actor, though. You make it work.
I try. It was a little hard putting on the skirt and high heels. I give anyone who wears high heels all the credit in the world, because that was the worst thing.
Yeah,
when we
tough.
did bitches.
Can verify that. Have you got a favorite music video that you've done? Obviously, I'm guessing Bucket List must have been up there as well. That was a hell of a location.
Yeah, they're all different. I mean, for location, Bucket List for sure. For funny, Anything She Says was just a blast with the Seaforth boys, just being idiots. I mean, just the getting out of your comfort zone and doing something you never do, bitches. And then Truth About You is probably my most where I had to act the most. There were real actors like playing those interrogators, and so it was really weird to like act with somebody that's
match 'em.
professional. Yeah. And then Drum Me was our biggest budget, and it was awesome. I mean, having that room fill up with water and laying in that cold, freezing water in the winter, and then seeing what came out of that. I mean, they all have their different places. Music videos aren't always my favorite thing to do, just because I'm always nervous and I'm not doing it right. But then when I see them at the end, I love it. And so, yeah, they all have their own little special place for me.
Cool. And back to writing real quick, especially like Drunk Me. Like when you write a song like that, when you're recording a whole album, like, do you know that's the best song, or is it like, does that take you by surprise? Like, I always wondered that, like, do musicians like, oh my God, I got this one, or like it just kind of goes off and becomes its own thing?
It's a good question. I mean, for Drunk Me specifically, I didn't know. I mean, I pitched that song to other artists. I mean, Blake Shelton had that song for a while. It never ended up making the record. And then when we got the record deal, my producer who wrote the song with me, I said, let's try this song. I love this song. I didn't sing the demo. Somebody else sung the demo, and he did such a great job. His name's Justin Wilson. Us three wrote that song. And so I was a little intimidated. I was like, man, I don't know if I can sing it like him. And we got into the vocal booth, and I sung the song, and I came out and listened to it, and I was like, man, I don't know if it's good or bad, but I know it's different. It sounds different. And if we're going to stand a chance at all, especially with our first day into radio, it's got to be different.
Nice.
And we went out there, and I guess it was different enough. But I didn't know that like that was the right choice. It just, that one felt like what I was hearing on country radio and hearing every day in country music, the production element of it, the way we sung it, like it sounded like if someone heard it, they would at least know it's me. And I didn't know if that would be a good or bad thing, but I knew that they would know that was me. And I knew, going back to my grandmother telling me my whole life, you have to find your own lane, that was going to be our best chance. And it ended up working out. But
nice.
But yeah, definitely was still very nervous about it. I thought we were making the right decision or not.
I'm glad it worked out. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if it had ended up with another artist. I wonder if you would have been kicking yourself now. It's kind of weird to think of anyone else singing it now.
I don't know. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. The life of a song, you never know where it's going to go or how long it's going to take. But I'm glad it worked out for that.
So I know you're very busy. You're on the road. We'll only ask you a couple more. We appreciate you being here once again. And so my family owns this venue. My dad owns it. I help run it now.
Oh.
I always like to ask artists, like, what are some things at venues you look for or that you enjoy or that you appreciate when you're on tour? And what are some things you hate? Because we want to make sure you guys are as comfortable as possible.
Straight up. I hate when security guards get in the way of people having fun.
Okay.
More than anything in the world. I hate it. It's a distraction. I like when people in venues let people have fun. I know there's a whole insurance thing, and I know people got to protect themselves, and there's a fine line there, but that's definitely the biggest pet peeve. People are there for a reason. Cool. And them having fun's awesome. And I just, that's basically it. I love when people are, when they can get up as close as we can and just have that connection and have that real connection to people. Like I said, all cliche aside, you feed off that energy, and the shows they're better. We play better. They have more fun, and it just feeds off each other when everyone's just like has that intimate connection where we can actually like truly enjoy ourselves.
Awesome.
And that's about it. I also, I love venues that cater to the fans.
Cool.
I mean, we're gonna play our show. We're gonna do our thing. We can take care of each other, but I love it when they let the fans have fun. That's. I mean, I think any artist would say that.
All right, cool. All right, we'll cancel all security that night. Yeah.
No, we definitely need security. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just like,
no.
Sometimes, when people come up or they're making a scene, and then everyone around them is watching the scene instead of the show. It's like, man, sometimes just let some kids have some fun.
Exactly.
It'll be all right.
I think you're going to like it.
Yeah, you're going to really like it here then, because we're very relaxed.
With chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I love chaos.
We got a fair amount of bars in the venue, so people like have a couple beers and let loose, and they sing really loud.
So. Make sure sell alcohol.
Yeah, we'll sell a lot. Yeah.
Got you covered.
Dry venues aren't as fun.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely not. Yeah.
Bud Light Seltzer.
But
Presenting that night.
it's funny, like you said about security. With country crowds, like I always say, like you need almost half the amount of security as other crowds because they're all just great people. Like you said, no one's there to start something or cause a scene. I think I've never seen a fight or anything wrong at a country show, so I think you'll definitely have a good time here. So that's good to know. Thank you for that.
And on that same subject, have you got favorite venue you've played so far? Or some
Favorite
highlights?
venue? I mean, the gorge in Washington is incredible. You're basically on top of a canyon looking down, and I don't know. It's just the scenery is gorgeous. But yeah, other than that, it's not really about venues to me. It's about the crowds and the energy, and I'm just happy to get back into a venue and start playing some shows again, and
Cool.
that aren't as hot outside in the natural elements. So yeah.
All right, so fans, when you're listening, you better bring it for Mitchell.
They're ready.
Let's do it.
Yeah, well, they're ready. They've had 2 years of built up, so I think they're very, very
it's
excited.
crazy to think that.
I
It's
know.
crazy to think it's 2 years, man. Nuts.
We say highly anticipated for so many shows, but this one
Yeah, we're very highly.
the definition.
Thank you, guys.
We saw you played. I saw you played Stagecoach. How was that? Like, how's the festival circuit?
Yeah, I mean, Stagecoach is incredible, and we can't wait to do it again, obviously, and get to play the main stage. Last time we played was, forever ago, and we were right on the stage right before main stage.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't have a cover to it, so like all of our gear, it was so hot, it was overheating, and so like it was like we had to cut our set like short at the beginning to get everything worked and cool down. But the fans were so awesome; they waited there patiently. And it was just one of those things where it was just like, that's what it's all about. That's what that festival life is all about. And that was pretty special to do Stagecoach. But yeah, it was so hot. So I'm looking forward to get to play it with on the main stage with the actual cover.
Yeah, you need the cover now. You've hit
that'll
big
be a
time.
lot of fun when we get to do that.
Talking of your fans, I know that you have the fan club, the Night Owls. Where does that come from? I saw you got a pretty sick tat the other week as well. Where does Night Owls come from?
Yeah, I got the owl tattoo up there.
Nice.
Night Owls comes from we right as we started, we were very lucky that a few awesome fans who are now friends just started this fan club, and my dad always said, "Be aware of your surroundings." Every time I left the house, and so I named I say that in the song "Bitches." My daddy always told me, "Be aware of your surroundings." We made our side company all about that. And so an owl keeps his head on a swivel, and that's kind of where the owl came from. And I'm always up at night, night owl, staying up late partying. So it just kind of all worked out. And then they just kind of took off running with that, and they've been incredible. And they've kind of grown their own group too. A bunch of friends. They've made so many friends that they would have never made in their lives. They always tell me that. It makes me so happy because they kind of have that thing that they can latch on to. It's crazy. It's my music, but more than anything, it's that they're all good people, and they love, they all do. Like, some of them are police officers, some of them are healthcare workers, farmers, like all these different lives, but they come together for this one thing, and they become like great friends. I think that's pretty special. It's pretty unique. And, and I love them so much. They've done so much for us, so it's pretty cool. And every day it keeps growing, which is crazy.
That's
to me.
amazing.
Yeah, it's a cool little community there. So, what is your dream headlining venue?
I still want to play Red Rocks. We haven't played
Rocks.
Red Rocks yet, so
that'd be an awesome one.
Yeah, for sure.
And what advice would you give an inspiring country star now that you've hit it big?
Well, I'm still trying to hit it big. I mean, that's
you're on the right track.
If there's any advice, don't think you have. Stay naive and humble, and just keep working. Put your head down, because obviously it can be taken away from you in any minute. We saw that the last year and a half.
Yeah.
I always say too, in Nashville, there's just so much talent. The person serving you food or that just got you your drinks probably better than you. They just haven't got the opportunity yet. So take full advantage of that opportunity and ride it as long as it goes. And I see you'll have more success that way than taking your first little bit of success and blowing it bigger than it is. I think that's how you die out too quick.
Yeah, for sure. It's funny you said Nashville. I was there a couple of years ago, and I know that, from listening to guys like your stories that they all started out in bars. So like every bar I was in, every guy is so good, obviously. So I remembered to like take a Snapchat or a video of all of them because one day like
That's
one of those
smart.
guys will be up there, at MSG or something playing. So they really are so good out there.
It's true.
All right, so we only ask you one more. So thank you for being with us again.
Of course.
Everyone, Mitchell's here again on September 23rd. Sorry, tickets are already sold out, but you should have got them earlier. Maybe next time. But
you live, you learn.
Yeah.
Yeah, earlier I said 2 years ago, I guess.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, 2 years to wait. So we don't want
Don't
to
beat
hear
yourself up too bad.
no excuses.
Thank
I think you are coming back to New York in a couple months after a year or
December.
so you could
Right.
catch them there. Too.
Yes, yeah, we'll be going. Yeah, we'll be going back to Webster Hall, I think.
Yeah, Webster.
I believe so.
December
yeah, it'd be fun.
15th.
But we can't. I mean, that's why we keep coming back to New York. We love New York.
Awesome. So we asked this one question. So if you could have any concert, the dead or alive, well, I think now we know the headliners, but you could have a headliner and an opening act, dead or alive, no budget, and then you're in the crowd at a VIP table of 4. So it'd be you and 3 guests at that table. So who's the headliner, who's the opening act, and who's at your VIP
man.
table? And sorry we put you on the spot.
I think at this point it'd be Michael Jackson headlining. I do Bruno Mars opening for
Nice.
Michael Jackson.
Ooh, good
Then
combo.
I'd be hanging with John Mayer. Man, that's tough.
Yeah, 2 more.
Probably John Mayer, Stevie Ray Vaughan, and oh man, who would be the third? That's tough. Oh man, I don't know. Probably, dude, that's tough. Probably just the Eagles as a band. I would love to hang out with all of them.
All right, that counts. We could do a combo. Yeah.
We'll pull up a few extra chairs.
Yeah, pull up extra chairs.
Yeah, they're just one entity. They wear the same pass.
Yeah, the
It's
Eagles,
fine.
yeah. All right, thank you so much, Mitchell. Any special requests for food-wise when you're here in New York that I could get you? Bagels, pizza, any favorite restaurants?
Man, we're easy. Whatever you think, man, that'd be awesome. Whatever you recommend, that'd be great.
Okay, cool. All right, thank you so much for talking.
Thank
you.
I know
Thanks so
you're
much,
busy.
Mitchell.
We really look
Absolutely.
forward.
We're
Really
gonna
look
have
forward
fun,
to
man.
meeting you again.
Let's have a drink together when we get there.
For sure, we'll
Absolutely.
do. Bye now.
Thank
Cheers,
you.
y'all. Thank you.
Bye.
Take it easy.
Thank you so much for joining us in Employees Only, presented to you by Mulcahy's Pub and Concert Hall. Please be sure to follow us on Instagram at Mulcahy's Pub. The other socials aren't as important because I put most of my time and effort into the Insta.